Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash. That's all praises to the one calls God, whose true name in Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem being the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the awful elect. Preaching his word in truth and sincerity on the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. And this is going to be a lesson on these small hatters and how they've used and abused the scriptures, placed themselves in this place of the Israelites, right? But now we're at the end, and everything that they've built up through secrecy, through lies, rape, robbery, murder, even what they call their belief system is being exposed. And now people are tying that belief system to why they're the issue and why they can never be anything but the issue in the earth. And what you're going to see, I believe this dude on the left is a small hatter, right? And watch his reaction to what is said.
Before that, can I actually read you
read me whatever you like to do.
Yeah, there's some verses that I actually pulled out of the Talmud. And,
Go ahead. Yeah.
And this is not going to be me trying to argue it or anything of the sort. I'm just going to read it plainly from the Talmud itself. Like if you look at Sanhedrin 59a, murdering Goy
Look at his face.
is like killing a wild animal. Abu Dazara 26b, even the best of the Gentiles should be killed. Sanhedrin 59a, a Goy who pries into the law, which means the Talmud, is guilty of death. This is why you can't even trust a Jew when you're talking about the Talmud, because you're trained to lie about it in the first place. Or you look at Liber David 37. To communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations would be equal to the killing of all Jews. For if the Goyim knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly. Can you make this up? Yevamot 11b. Sexual intercourse with a little girl is permitted if she is 3 years of age. Hikothakam X1. Do not save Goyim in the danger of death. In the same excerpt, show no mercy to the Goyim. Like, I can go on and on. I basically was prying into the Talmud, what was it, I think 8 months ago, and I just pulled out all these verses. Like, again, this is a salient theme. If it was something that showed up once in a while, I would be like, okay, this is weird. Let's talk about this. Why is this repetitively throughout the entire book? I can scroll forever on this. Like, what does that say about the faith where a big part of their faith is, once again, the separation of the chosen and their cattle? That's why, ultimately, they're trained to not care about us. Before that, can I actually...
You see, really, we're not going to have any concern with the heathen's judgment when it comes because it's justified. But at some point, right, after they served out their captivity in 1,000 years, right, the heathen, except for Esau, right, according to the scriptures, they'd be able to go back to their own lands, set up their own stuff, but be in constant rule, be under constant rule of Israel. They wouldn't be put in a position to dictate how you move and do things. No, that will come through the Israelites. So now we're coming to the time where these devils are getting exposed, and you can see the uncomfortability in this small hatter's face on the left as he read through these things. Because when you dig into their mindset, right, their philosophy, and they even tell you they put the Talmud over the scriptures. That's why the scriptures say this. Let me get this, man. Isaiah 8:20 says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, there is no light in them. Right? You can't indiscriminately kill heathen just because you feel like it. That's against the scriptures. We have scriptures that support that you have to even deal with the heathen according to the law. One example I'm thinking of is is when Saul killed the Gibeonites that Israel had made an oath with. What happened down the line after not Saul, but King Saul. When King Saul had killed some of the Gibeonites that Israel already made an oath with, then Israel started getting in wars and the people started dying. So what did David do? He asked the Lord, what shall he do? Right? The Lord told him, I'm doing this because of how Saul and his sons killed the Gibeonites. So what had to be done? The Gibeonites asked for the sons of Saul to be killed. And they had to do it. And then the wrath of the Lord was appeased. You can't just deal with the heathen how you want. Even Joseph didn't sleep with Pharaoh's wife because what? The law. But when you go into these people's mindset and their belief system, then this all starts getting exposed. And we're in a time now where, we'll get the scripture a little bit, where Inquisition is being made into the counsel of the ungodly. And the Lord is letting and exposing this world to who the demon and the problem on earth is.
Before that, can I actually read you
some verses? Read me whatever you like to do.
Yeah, there's some verses that I actually pulled out of the Talmud. And,
go ahead. Yeah.
And this is not going to be me trying to argue it or anything of the sort. I'm just going to read it plainly from the Talmud itself. Like if you look at Sanhedrin 59a, murdering Goyim is like killing a wild animal. Avodah Zarah 26b, even the best of the Gentiles should be killed. Sanhedrin 59a, a Goy who pries into the law, which means the Talmud, is guilty of death.
But doesn't the scripture say we would teach the heathen the laws? But then you're going to kill somebody for prying into the law? This is how you know these aren't the people. This is Psalms 50 and 16. It says, but unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my word behind thee. Right? He cast the word of the Lord behind him, and he picked up the Talmud. This is why when he bombs them Palestinians over there indiscriminately, those people in Yemen, this is why when he turns around in the earth and starts just bombing everybody around him, there's no assumption of guilt for their deeds, because in their mind, this is what they were given to do. It says in Wisdom of Solomon, second chapter, for whatsoever is let me get it, man. Come back through this Psalm 50. Oh, so whatsoever is feeble is found to be nothing worth. That's what it says in Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter. And so it's a might is right mindset. And the Israelites never went like that. Might is not right according to the children of Israel and their power's words, Yahweh Bashim Shai's words. Back in Psalms 50 and 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and as partakers with adulterers. Now I'm going to play a little bit more of this, and that scripture fits it perfectly.
This is why you can't even trust the Jew when you're talking about the Talmud, because you're trained to lie about it in the first place. Or you look at Liber David 37. To communicate anything to a Goy about our religious relations would be equal to the killing of all Jews. For if the Goyim knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly.
What does the scripture say? When he speaketh a lie, let's get that. Come back to that Psalms 50. No. Let's just keep playing it. I'll go back if I got it.
Can you make this up? Yevamot 11b. Sexual intercourse with a little girl is permitted if she is 3 years of age.
You see? Just all our wickedness. Let's just go through these scriptures. I don't want to get too crazy and off the wall. It says, when thou sawest a thief, thou consistest with him, and hast been partakers with adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. And who is the brother of Esau? Jacob. Right? That is the brother of Jacob, and he slanders the real Israelites constantly. Look at what he done to all these Israelite celebrities, Kanye West, Nick Cannon, right? And the list goes on and on. It says, verse 21, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one of thyself. So that might is right mindset, the Lord basically allowed him to build that up, right? But what does the scripture say? What if the Most High, being willing to show his great power, endured the vessels of wrath fit for destruction, right? He's allowing, just like he did with Pharaoh. He allowed Pharaoh, right? And he hardened Pharaoh's heart so that he could show his power in him. And that's what these people are going to be used for, right? That's what the Edomites, those small hatters in the land of Israel, are going to be used for, so that the Lord can show his power through the destruction of them. It says, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thy eyes. Right? This is 2 Corinthians 11. I'll start at 13. It says, For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into apostles of Mashiach, and no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And Satan, the word Satan just means the deceiver. Right? This dude on the left is the son of that bloodline. Right? Satan means adversary, Salakia. This dude on the left is a son, right, of the adversary. And he comes to do the bidding of Satan. This is why their stuff is getting exposed the way it is, and that everybody knows that these niggas are the problems in the earth. Right? They went from being the worst in the world to, for a long time now, people thought these niggas were the people of the Lord. Now we're at the end, and it's being shown that they're not. They don't have any affinity towards the scriptures to do anything that the Lord said. This is Habakkuk 2. And 4 says, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Right? And you heard him. It's permissible. They said in the Talmud it was permissible. Right? Let me rewind it.
11b. Sexual intercourse with a little girl is permitted if she is 3 years of age.
You see? That's in their Talmud. His soul is lifted up, and look at what he produces.
X1. Do not save Goyim in the danger of death. In the same excerpt, show no mercy to the Goyim. Like, I can go on and on. I basically was prying into the Talmud, 8 months ago, and I just pulled out all these verses. Like, again, this is a salient theme. If it was something that showed up once in a while, I would be like, okay, this is weird. Let's talk about this. Why is this repetitively throughout the entire book? I can scroll forever on this. Like, what is...
And look how this dude looked from the left. Getting ready to lie his ass off, but he feels that shame. This is Psalms 36. And 1, it says, It says, the transgressions of the wicked say within my heart, there is no fear of the Most High before his eyes. And this is how they move. For he flattereth himself with his own eyes. He flattered himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. And this is what these devils have done. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He had left off to be wise and to do good. He devised mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. And this is what they've done. This is exactly what they've done. They flattered themselves in their own eyes. They said, oh, we're the most intelligent. They even, the IQ system. Who are the people in the world that always have the highest IQs, according to this devil? They made a system catered to their mindset. And all the people in the world that have the highest IQs, on average, are considered to be small hatters. Look it up. Right? They flattered themselves. And now their iniquity has been found to be hateful. The Lord sees everything they're doing, and he's going to respond. And he already is. He's responding now. So while the world is coming up against him. Psalms, yeah, let's get on that. I'll read verse 4. It says, he devises mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. And these devils love wickedness. This is John 8. In 44, it says, ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father will you do. He was a murderer from the beginning. And who was the murderer from the beginning? Cain. Cain killed Abel, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. And that's exactly what the world is seeing. There's no truth in this devil. They said, hey, when anybody asks you about the Talmud, you're trained to lie. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Right? That is their philosophy, is to lie. And the scriptures are speaking louder and louder on this demon every fucking day. He's getting exposed. And when this devil gets exposed, we know that our persecution is coming. We know that. This is Wisdom of Solomon 9:1. And I'm going to name this left after this. It says, for inquisition shall be made into the counsel of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto Yahweh for a manifestation of his wicked deeds. The ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. And the Lord is making inquisition on this devil throughout the world. Shalom.